surreal. It looks unlike any ship I've ever seen.
This is the world's largest cruise ship. A ship that is 5 times bigger than the Titanic. And for the first time ever, this massive ship is making its official debut as it sails for weeks across the Caribbean. Wow, would you look at that?
It's surreal. It looks unlike any ship I've ever seen.
How can this entire $1.5 billion city float on the sea with thousands of people on board and function for weeks using its own electricity?
Am I the only one who finds this terrifying? Man, this is like floating anxiety to me.
How much money do you think you need to get a chance to be there?
I can't believe it's here. We've been waiting for this ship for years now.
And more importantly, because of its huge size, will this be just a huge nightmare? Wait.
All right, Old School Will is here again. Today we're going to talk about something that's just a tad bit different. And this one is personal because before all the videos, before all the cruise discussions, before Old School started talking about the cruise industry, you know, I was just a passenger stepping onto a cruise ship for the very first time, like many of y'all. And that ship was Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. And I know that's taking a lot of y'all a long way back. See, I think that was back in the 90s. Yeah, it was back in the 90s. Now, let's go back. Rhapsody of the Seas entered service in, 1997. At that time, this was considered a big cruise ship. She was about 78,000 gross tons. Damn! She was about 915 feet long and carried around just a mere 2,000 passengers. And I remember that feeling, walking on board, looking around and saying, wow, this ship is really big. But here's what was different. It still felt like a ship, although Old School's never been on a ship before, so basically I really wouldn't know. You walked the decks, you saw the ocean, you talked to people. But by the end of the cruise, you recognized faces. You might see somebody at breakfast that you talked to the night before. That was cruising. It wasn't about having the biggest water slide, that biggest attraction, the biggest everything. It was about the experience. Now, let's fast forward to today. Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas entered service in 2024. And this ship is an engineering masterpiece. Let's give credit to where credit is due. It weighs around 248,000 gross tons. This thing is almost 1,200 feet long. And you thought 2,000 passengers were something? Think again. Icon holds about 7,600 passengers at maximum capacity. And with the crew included, wow, almost 10,000 people.
You serious?
Now, Old School has a question. When you put almost 10,000 people on a ship, is that still a relaxing vacation? Or is that a floating city? Now, I know everybody will not agree. Some people love it. Families love it. Kids definitely love it. People want non-stop entertainment, and that's okay. But some of us older cruisers are asking, where is that quiet cruise experience going? Where you could just sit down on the deck, listen to those waves, enjoy that ocean, drink that cup of coffee and eat that croissant early in the morning, and if you're lucky enough, you'll see one of those ocean birds flying around. You meet people, you relax, and that's really relaxing. Because sometimes bigger does not necessarily mean better. Sometimes more options create more crowds, more lines, more reservations, more planning. And old school wants to ask, have cruises become so busy that you need a schedule just to relax? Now, I want my longtime cruisers to answer this one. What was your first cruise ship? Do you remember walking on board for the first time? Do you remember that feeling? Because for me, Rhapsody of the Seas will always represent what got me hooked on cruising. And that's why I understand when some older cruisers say, I don't need bigger. I don't need the biggest ship in the world. I just want a good cruise. Now, don't get me wrong. These new mega ships are amazing. The technology is unbelievable. But maybe there is still room for both. Maybe the younger generation wants the excitement. Maybe families want the attractions. And maybe some of us just want that traditional cruise feeling back. So I want to ask everybody to comment below. Would you rather cruise on a ship with about 2,000 passengers or a ship with nearly 10,000 passengers and crew? Are cruise ships getting too big? Or is this just the future? Well, I don't know. Only you guys out there can answer that. Well, this is Old School Will. As usual, y'all stay blessed.